Hey, welcome to Foreigner in the Philippines. Well, we're getting close to being able to get rid of all of this storage and into a more comfortable place. We're absolutely we're so full here, there's hardly room to walk. Please don't talk to me about tidying up, will you? I've got so many boxes. So let's look at I thought I'd just show you that we've got I don't know how many boxes are up on the deck, but just wanted to show you the good news. We are into now getting to the point where we're going to be able to do some cleaning up, and this is our little connecting hallway that goes between our house at the moment as we're living in, and there's our nice view outside the back. And this is the door. Push that forward. So there we are, we have a nice door there. And that was the only door that we could get to fit that frame. And as you can see, I always say it's not Chippendale. I'm not trying to put everything down. We do use doorstop. That's how I wanted it done, so that I could use doorstop, which I'll fit later. This is our little bathroom, and a nice door, and a place to have a shower. There'll be a bucket there, and it will be a traditional Filipino. Sorry, but that's how we live. It's our simple life. We've still got to do the double cladding on this, so that still has to be done, as you can see. But the main thing, all of the tile now, it will take several cleanings to be able to get the grout completely off. That's the way it is with tiling. So quite a bit has been left on there. That was the way that they did. That's the way that they did it, and we'll have to go over. We'll have to go over and fix that. But we're not going to stress about that. Still have one messy thing that has, well, two messy things. We're going to have to go and do smooth coat on this. So it's all rough at the moment. We have a powder mix it like cement. Two ways we could go. We could do neat cement on that and get it smooth. Pastor Timio is very good at that. So we could do that, or we can do the smooth coat, which is, as I say, you mix it as if it's like plaster, and it goes on there, and then you can lightly sand it off. So that would be something that we could do. Now we still have to paint. There's little bits and pieces there that could be changed. We're not going to worry about them. And there are little areas there that you can see daylight through. Well, we'll probably live with that too. But on this large gaps here, that's how they do it here. They leave that gap there, and it helps with cooling the place. But it also, of course, allows for mosquitoes, and we don't want that. So we won't block that off, but we will probably put net up there. The same on the other side, look. So there are lots of things, you know, for those of you who have your critic list on there, there are lots of things that I would really prefer not to have. I would like all of these roof trusses, I would like it to have been done differently, but I'm not going to stress about that because there's just no point. It is what it is. We're in the Philippines, and this is the way that the traditional workers do this. And it's traditional workers that we have used and they have done incredible amount of work in an incredibly short time. So who am I to start nitpicking and saying, well, you should have done this and you should have done that? No, I'm not going to do that. This is our... I think we'll focus more on stuff like that. Look at that view out of that window. And then coming around. Now, can you see the tiny little pinpoints of light that you can see? That's why a macon, which is a weave of bamboo, just find somewhere where the light is very good and focus on that, a macon, so you can actually see how it's done. Now, if you look at this closely, let me see somewhere where. Now look how tight that is. There's one there that's not quite so tight, and then it's woven together. Now you can actually see that how this would breathe, and that's why it's such a practical way of doing things. So you do the bottom part is about 5 courses of hollow block, and it's rendered, and yes, the word is rendered. And then look through our big window here. It's 2 windows, and that is our view. Beautiful. And yes, there's an awful lot of clean up to be done, and we'll get to it. The to-do list on a property this size is enormous. And for the amount of work that has been done, think about it, in the last few weeks, we've erected this complete building, all of it. Look at how much. I'm standing in one corner now, and look, this is a big room. This is 19 feet by 19 feet. It has the inclusive bathroom, inside bathroom, and that's there. Now this actually eventually will become part of our house, and my view, my design for the house is that we will have another building slightly larger than this that will allow us to have 2 bedrooms but still have an enormous living room like that. Possibly we'll come to think of this as our living room, family room, because we've got this wonderful view. But we will have a wonderful view when we've erected that building out there. So we'll be coming out, and this would be our hallway. So we'll be come out, this will be our hallway. This will be panelled in at some point. This will be the entrance to the house, the rest of the house. And it will be on raised land, obviously flattened. And then all of this area here then will be an internal courtyard which will connect to the pool, and that's what we're planning. But it comes out there. Now we're not going to block this off. We're going to put windows in here so that we still think those 2 windows there that you can see, and those 2 windows there will be here as well. And look at that beautiful view. This is the big mango tree. The big mango tree will be pruned down. All of these big branches that are coming over, which would intrude on where the site of the house, those will be taken down. That's a huge mango tree. So all of that will then make this a compound that people cannot walk through. It'll be private, and all of this mess will be gone. And yes, this is a vent pipe. It's a vent pipe for the septic, and what we'll do is we'll cut the pipe off below ground, and we'll put in elbow, and we'll take look at that line there that I'm indicating. We'll take it and we'll hide the pipe. We'll put an elbow here, run a piece of pipe underground, elbow it up again so that this is duplicated over there, and we'll hide that in part of the landscaping. So that's what would happen there. So we've done the grouting here. As we've already said, it needs work. It needs a lot of work to actually get the residue. You can see it powdering there, but you can see the colour of the tile underneath is actually beginning to emerge. So that will be done. Look at the difference between that tile and these others. It will all be cleaned up. And difficult to get through the number of jobs that need to be done to make this beautiful is almost endless. Right now they've got the cement mixer, and the cement mixer is going to be used now obviously to make cement. Wow, that was a no-brainer, wasn't it? And they're going to be doing this. You see the way that if you look at the way that they've done this, they batten up under there, put some wood up, then they put a plywood former, and then they pour the concrete in the top. And that's all joined in with rebar. When the rebar came up through and it came up to here, then when they make this, they bend the rebar over, and it means that this just is not so that it will just fall off. It won't do that. And I'll show you what I mean by looking at the work in progress. So here we've got our trusty cement mixer, which was given to us by Bukiko. And here's Pastor Timio. And I'll show you what I mean here. So you can see that the old one has been bent over and hooked around. This one bent around, and then what will happen is that these will be tied over like this young man is doing, and they'll be tied in with tie wire. Now there's one that hasn't yet been done. So when this is poured with concrete, and it will form a kind of a sitting place that you can sit. We've got the steps that have been put in there rough, and this will be concreted. And for the very kind subscriber that sent the pouches and the carpenter's pencils, I get a ton of carpenter's pencils, enough to keep these guys in pencils for well, for a long time. Thank you, thank you. So all of this work now is being made so that the cement will have a straight edge. And because of our location, things have to be bagged. They have to be bagged, and they have to be carried. It's not easy. So when we get rendered, we'll put a wooden frame in there, which will be treated, and we will then make a removable metal grill that will have a fine mesh on it so that critters, animals can't get in there, neither snakes nor rats or mice, and it will be proofed against that. And a good tip that someone sent to us was, a couple of good tips actually. Now underneath it's all hard packed dirt, and a good suggestion was made, which certainly I had not thought of, and that was to put plastic down over that. The ideal would be to cover in a layer of sand, and then on top of that, this would be doubly ideal, would be to cover the whole area under there in plastic. Now I'm not sure where on earth we would be able to get that plastic. Just one of those logistic things of living on a small island like Bohol, is that a lot of things that you just simply cannot get. So we would hope to be able to get plastic, and probably, as this would be a Western way of doing it, we'll have to deal with the puzzled looks of Timio when I say that we'll be putting plastic down. I'm guessing that he will say, I don't understand why, and and we'll deal with that. So the scene out here today, I'm sitting in the little porchway, and it will be blocked off because there will be another big house there, but it will be made up for by doing some really nice creative landscaping, plants, flowers, pathways, and I will certainly enjoy getting to that and helping and designing that. And there's a load more boxes, as you can see, that are stored at the moment on our pool deck underneath, out of the rain. So we are still waiting for approval. It seems imminent now. We've just completed another requirement and we have to wait for the official written confirmation, have to have the hard copy, and then we will move ahead. Meantime, after being in that tight little house that we live in, the red and green house, I will be so delighted to move into bigger accommodation, and we're going to push ahead as finances allow and get the rest of the house built there, and we'll live on the ground floor. I'm getting tired of doing the stairs thing at night, and so we're really looking forward to changing the way that we live and living a bit better. And that's what we probably will come to know as the old house. Now you can see our little improvised ventilation. We couldn't find the decorative hollow blocks, so we turned the hollow blocks, the ordinary hollow blocks, on their side, and of course they've got holes running through them all the way, and now that's a ventilation area there. We're rendered up. All of that will be painted, of course, in time, but first things first. Here we are here, and lots of clearing and landscaping to be done out here. Down there we're looking at building an incinerator so that all of this stuff that we don't need on a regular basis can be burned, and we'll have what we're planning is to have recycling bags, which metal cans, bottles, all of that will go into a recycling system, and then we'll take it in, and you get paid a few. It's not just about being paid a few dollars, but it does help, and it keeps the area nice and clean. And all of this will be grassed and landscaped so that there are pathways that go around, and that's the plan. and it's a very beautiful day today. But you can see that the hills, even though the hills, well, the hills stay the same, the mountains stay the same, but the colours change all the time. Lots of greens at times, and then when we have a lot of rain, then everything turns beautifully deep green, as you can see down here in the foreground. And then at the background you'll see that there's lots of brown. Well, it gets very dried out, and then it gets burned, and it gets burned off, some of it by people like Rado, some of it by kids who like to set fires, and that clears land so that fresh grass can grow up in there. So things change. And there's a hill right on the far. Now when it rains, it really is very beautiful, because over on that line, I'm looking at that line there, and on that line, that's where the rain always comes from. And you can see it coming. Gets very grey, and then those hills actually get shrouded and we don't see them, and they disappear in the heavy rain. Always changing, everything always changing. Very beautiful. I feel very fortunate. So we have actually got a couch which I bought on impulse because I really liked it, and I'm trying, and yes, we shouldn't have bought it so soon, but it would have been gone. A lot of what happens here in the islands, if you see something and you like it, you better buy it, because there's no such thing as coming back next week and buying it. It will be gone. So I checked with my lovely wife and said I'd just seen something that I really think that we should get, and she said fine. So we bought it and brought it home, and now we've been trying to protect it from the workers who will always think of putting things on there. So far we've been successful. It's actually got plastic on it. They very kindly put this in plastic, but the plastic in transit comes off, and hence the sheets. So thanks for looking in. This has been an update on most of our work, a little walk around the property. All coming on very well. So thanks a lot. See you soon. Bye for now.